Good afternoon and welcome to the September 15th meeting of the Gaston County Board of Education. My name is Josh Crisp and I represent the Dallas Township and I'm the chairman of the board. I would like to welcome everyone to our meeting and ask the rest of the board members to introduce themselves. We'll start with Mr. Dedman.
Robbie Lovelace, Cherryville Township.
Todd Kinlaw, South Point Township.
Jana Smith, Gastonia Township.
Dot Cherry, at-large member.
A.M. Stevens, Riverbend Township.
Brent Moore, Crowers Mountain Township.
Jeff Ramsey, at-large member.
And thank you for that. So our first order of business, our invocation, I'd like to ask Mr. Chad Hovis to come and do our invocation.
Good afternoon, Vice Chair, members of the board. Welcome. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this today. If we could please bow our heads. Father, we thank you for this beautiful day and the opportunity for us to serve the students, teachers, parents, communities, and staff of Gaston County Schools. Thank you for this dedication and the hearts of this servant leadership and this board as they serve our students. Thank you for what they do every day. Bless us today and give us your wisdom as we make decisions to the betterment of the school and the students and the community. We thank you for all you do. We thank you for your blessings, and we thank you for your love. In your Son, Jesus Christ's most precious and holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chad. Now I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Huchard, who will have students lead the Pledge of Allegiance and our character trait of the month.
Thank you, Chairman. If we have some students here from Greer Middle School, I'd like for you all to come forward, please. I think they're in the back of the lobby here. They're going to say our pledge. If you all will come forward, stand on the on the X. And I have a list of students' names. I'm not sure if they're all here, but got a few of them. Good. We have enough. Signed up was Eder Uribe, Jeremiah Brumley, Johanna Cuthbertson, Emmanuel Daniels, Gabriel Daniels, Amari Rickett, Jesse Rivas. So we have several students here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah. Good. If we could all stand and face the flag, they will start us in the pledge. All right. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, thank you. And now I'd like to call forward August McDowell, who is a third grader at Lingerfeld Elementary School. August, if you will come up, he's going to tell us about the character trait of the month, which is respect. August? Thank you, August. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, August. That was wonderful. Next on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda itself. Do I hear a motion to adopt the agenda? Ms. Smith, Mr. Moore on the second. Any discussion? All in favor? That's unanimous. And now we'll hear good news happening in our system. Mr. Todd Hagans. You are second.
Hello, Chairman Crisp, Vice Chairman Cherry, members of the board, and Superintendent Huchard. It is a pleasure to present our good news to the Board of Education for the month of September. First, we begin with inviting South Point High School counselor Aaron Stokes to come forward. We are proud to share with you this evening that Ms. Stokes has been selected as a recipient of the 2025 Yale Educator Award. This award, sponsored by the Yale University Office of Undergraduate Admissions, honors educators from around the world who inspire and support their students to reach high levels of achievement and excellence. Students entering the Yale class of 2029 were asked to nominate outstanding educators who had a significant impact on their lives. Ms. Stokes was nominated for the honor by James Dover, a 2025 graduate of South Point High School and co-valedictorian, who is a student now at Yale University. In his nomination, James shared how Ms. Stokes went above and beyond to support him and other students. She helped him design an individualized academic path, arranging advanced courses outside the school's usual offerings, and encouraging him to take part in special programs that led to new opportunities. James also noted that during a time of transition, Ms. Stokes kept the guidance department running smoothly while training new counselors and taking on extra responsibilities. He said she is a true student-centered educator who works with humility and grace. Tonight, we are proud to honor Ms. Erin Stokes for this well-deserved recognition and thank her for her outstanding service to our students at South Point High School. And Ms. Smith has the presentation.
I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. It seems like you have gone above and beyond anything that I think that I could ever achieve. I mean, who here can go to Yale? Not me. But thank you so much for keeping your job duties going and also inspiring students to reach their maximum potential. So thank you so much. Thank you very much.
And we'll ask Principal Josh Allen to come forward to join us in the picture, and any colleagues or guests that Ms. Stokes may have with her.
Congratulations.
Mr. Chairman, next we would like to recognize the Gaston County Schools Student Athlete Advisory Council, and we would like to invite the following students to come forward. Israel Aladekoba from Hunter Huss High School, Isaac Acock of Forest View High School, Rex Dover of South Point High School, Rayleigh Gidney of Cherville High School, Braden Moss of Bessemer City High School, Maddie Queen of Forest View High School, and Hayden Routhier of North Gaston High School. And we also have, which one, Sean?
Gabriella, you see that?
Gabriella Pursley from Bessemer City High School is with us as well. This school year, Gaston County Schools established a Student Athlete Advisory Council. The council is made up of 20 student athletes, 2 from each high school with sports, who meet quarterly to share their insights and experiences about what it means to be a student athlete. Because of fall sports, many of the athletes are unable to be here this evening due to practices and games. We also would like to recognize our County Athletic Director, Chad Duncan, and ask him to come forward at this time to join the students. Mr. Duncan is the advisor for the council, and he believes that students involved in the advisory council will have the opportunity to grow as leaders, represent their schools, and have a voice in athletics. At their first meeting, the students worked together to draft a code of sportsmanship. This message is being read over the public address system at athletic events and highlights the importance of sportsmanship for athletes, coaches, parents, and spectators. This evening, we are so very pleased to recognize our newly established Student Athlete Advisory Council, and we look forward to seeing what the student leaders accomplish to make sports in Gaston County Schools even better. And I think Mr. Stevens has that. For the picture.
Israel. That's you. I'm gonna look you up real quick, because you look too sharp. That's good. Your mom picked out your outfit, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
I may be one short. We'll get you yours if I don't have one for you. Riley?
Okay.
I'll give you that one. We'll give it to her. Brady Moss? Maddie Queen? I met you earlier. And Hayden Rockier? Guys, I just want to say thank y'all for your involvement. I love the fact that y'all are actually creating the code of sportsmanship yourself versus having adults tell you what you should do. You're taking it on yourself because y'all are the ones that are the leaders now, right? So we're handing the torch off to y'all to go ahead and start being leaders now so that one day in the future, y'all can have a bigger role to help make sure that Gaston County stays amazing as it already is. And you guys are very lucky to be here in Gaston County. Now, you go outside of Gaston County, they may try to talk junk about us, but you guys know firsthand that this place is amazing. And we care about you kids. We appreciate the work that y'all are doing, and y'all keep up the good work, okay? Now, I'm gonna get a chance to take a picture with you guys. Anything else we need to do?
Let's see if Gabriella will hold this just for the sake of the picture.
Yes.
We'll make sure we get a certificate for you.
Oh, we got it. We're gonna open?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't be able to see it without a picture.
I'm gonna feed you here. You're fine.
Yeah, we're glad to recognize any parents or principals that want to join this picture, and we'll do a big group photo. Don't be shy.
Not everybody. No? All right, guys, if y'all wanna.
There are a couple principals. We've got some of our principals coming, so we'll add them to the group. Right there. It's good. It's all good.
Come bounce it out just a little bit, all right?
I'm already down, so.
Mr. Chairman, next we are recognizing the Gaston County Schools Finance Department, and we would like to ask our Associate Superintendent and Chief Financial Officer Gary Hoskins and members of the Finance Department staff to come forward at this time, including James Beckford, Christina Ellis, Paula Medlin, and Caitlin Bone. The Association of School Business Officials International announced recently that Gaston County Schools is the recipient of the Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting for the 2024 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. This is one of the highest honors in school financial management and demonstrates the department's commitment to transparency, accuracy, and accountability. This recognition is especially significant because it marks the 28th consecutive year that Gaston County Schools has received the honor. Earning the award year after year shows a long-standing tradition of excellence and professionalism in managing public funds. We are extremely proud of our finance department and the important role the staff plays in ensuring that our schools have the financial foundation to provide students with the resources and opportunities they need to succeed. And we congratulate our finance department on this well-deserved recognition. And Mr. Kinlaw's got the presentation.
On behalf of the Gaston County School Board, I want to say thank you guys for what you do. He said like 28 years, so hopefully we'll get to stand up here next year and see 29 and keep that record going. But I know it's a big task to keep up with all those expenses and ins and outs and making sure we got money to cover projects. But we're so thankful for what you guys do for us and for the county and for the school system. And so we look forward to seeing you guys back up here again next year. Congratulations.
Yep, we'll get a picture.
Oh, yeah. Always a gentleman. Congratulations. You know, I appreciate all you do. Appreciate everything y'all do. Having to work with these two. Congratulations. Gary, good job.
Thank you for doing it for us.
Mr. Chairman, to conclude our good news, we want to let the board know about 3 occasions that are worth celebrating. First, this week is North Carolina Arts and Education Week, and we are very pleased and proud of the fine arts programs that we have available for our students in Gaston County Schools. Second, Constitution Day is this Wednesday, September 17th, and we have provided suggestions to our schools about how to commemorate the signing of the U.S. Constitution in 1787. And coming up in October, we have National Principals Month, when we bring attention to the leadership of our principals and assistant principals. And with that, Chairman Crisp, that completes our good news recognition for the month of September.
Thank you, Mr. Higgins. We appreciate that. So next on our agenda is Classroom Moment. Classroom Moment gives the board an opportunity to see examples of good things happening in our district every day. This moment will be led by Ms. Kales and Ms. Simmons. Well, sorry, I missed. That's what my agenda said. Thank you for your presentation, and we'll turn it over to you now.
Vice Chair Cherry, members of the board, and Superintendent Houchard. It's my pleasure to introduce a very dynamic and crucial member of our academic services team. This is Janisha Alfred Simmons, the Director of Instructional Coaching and Advanced Teacher Roles.
Good evening. I am excited to present the September Classroom Moment. Tonight, we will highlight our instructional coaches and advanced teaching roles. I am delighted to have some of these coaches here tonight. Please stand to be recognized. I would like to highlight the critical role that coaching plays in education. Just as athletes depend on coaches to refine their performance, teachers also benefit from ongoing guidance and support. In North Carolina, 43% of new teachers enter the profession through alternative pathways, with many joining as a second career. Coaching ensures these educators receive the structured, job-embedded development necessary to strengthen their practice and positively impact student learning. In Gaston counties, our coaching initiative was launched with support from a state grant and Title I funds. Through this investment, we have established clear goals to guide and sustain the work. Our 3 goals are: increase the number of highly effective teachers in our innovative and Title I schools, attract and retain highly effective teachers, and increase support, coaching, and professional development for all teachers in our innovation and Title I schools. This video provides a glimpse into the work taking place in our innovation and Title I schools. It highlights the impact of our coaching initiative at Greer Middle School and Bessemer City Central Elementary School. Our coaches engage in a professional development 2 times a month, where they are taught the foundational skills that they need to support their teachers, and they engage in multiple rounds of practicing and modeling. Once they receive that information, they receive one-on-one coaching by me as they're working with their team, and they are receiving feedback in the moment. So we are a feedback culture. Teachers get to see their coaches getting feedback as they are giving feedback to teachers, and teachers give feedback to students.
When I first learned about the advanced teacher roles, I realized that this was an amazing opportunity for us to be able to take our most qualified and most effective teachers and put them in leadership roles that would allow us to then support and build capacity in the remaining teaching staff that we have here.
I'm very excited for my teachers because I have a lot of good teachers here, and I want people to see what all they have to offer.
We go in and we do walkthroughs, and then we go in and we do just small observations and kind of gain some insights on what the teacher needs most support in. Then we'll turn around and we'll meet with those teachers. So we'll do one-on-one sessions where we talk with them. We'll kind of give them feedback, give them action steps to work on, and then we follow that up with going into the classrooms and actually providing in-the-moment feedback.
In the past, I was focused on ELA, but I didn't have all the time to create the materials for them and to be able to go into their classrooms to see how students are learning and how we can tailor our small group instruction as well.
I have one REACH teacher at my school, so based on her historical data, it has shown that the impact she makes, that she qualifies to be a REACH teacher, which means she can be a coach, but she has more students in her classroom because it's proven she makes an impact on students. As the weeks have rolled out, I've seen a great difference in our PLCs with the teachers role playing. We give them more teacher voice, so that way they are showing their strengths. And then even with the kids, we're seeing a difference in how they're responding and the impact the teacher's instruction is making on them.
In the last couple of weeks, we've actually already seen some amazing growth in teachers because now they have someone to go in and not just tell them what to do, but they can model it. They can actually see it in action in real time. And we've had a lot of aha moments from teachers already.
Well, I see engagement increasing in students, which then in turn means students are learning more.
I want our families and students and teachers to be proud of what we do in the building and the learning that happens every day.
Thank you for your continued support as we invest in our teachers and strengthen learning opportunities for our students. Thank you.
Thank you. We always love having opportunities for the board to see things that are going on. We appreciate your presentation. Thank you. Next on our agenda is public expression. This is a time when the board hears comments from citizens about matters of public concern relating to the school system. Our board policy sets aside 30 minutes of our regular monthly meeting for citizens to address the board. As they're setting up, I'll read the outlines, the rules and procedures. Citizens wishing to make comment who have completed a request to speak form prior to the beginning of the meeting will be recognized by the chair and then requested to step to the microphone to make their comments. Citizens will state their name and address for the record. Members of the board do not respond to public expression during public comment period. Public expression does not allow for comments on confidential or personnel matters. Speakers who wish to give materials to the board will hand them to our clerk, Ms. Cindy Beck, and the chair will rule on all points of order. So that is it for tonight. So our first speaker is Ms. Barbie Stokes.
Good evening, Dr. Huchard and all elected officials seated before us. elected officials elected to represent us, we the people. I'm here tonight to highlight Constitution Week and specifically Constitution Day, which is Wednesday, September 17th. It was on that day 238 years ago at 4 p.m. that 39 founding fathers signed our Constitution. Federal law states that any educational institution, such as Gaston County Schools, any educational institution receiving federal funding must hold an educational program pertaining to the U.S. Constitution this week to encourage citizens to learn about their civic responsibilities and opportunities. I challenge parents and guardians this week, ask your students, what did they learn? Ask your student to name the 3 branches of government. Legislative branch, which is Congress, they make the laws. Executive branch, which includes the president, they execute the laws. Judicial branch, which is the courts, and they would settle disputes arising from the laws. Ask your kids if they learned that our founding fathers put their lives on the line when they declared independence from the tyrant, King George III of Great Britain, who was vindictive and oppressive. In modern-day America, people are still risking everything to protect our freedoms. Ask your students, ask them to name the 5 freedoms guaranteed by the First Amendment: freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, right to assemble, and the right to petition the government. Pretty much all of those are being exercised at this school board meeting tonight. All of this is laid out in our Constitution. Ben Franklin's famous quote that we are a republic if we can keep it. We are a constitutional republic, which means we elect people to represent us, like school board members, city council, congressmen, senators, and they vote on the thousands of decisions and laws for us within the limits of our Constitution. Unlike a democracy, which means every citizen would vote on the thousands of decisions and laws. Can you imagine voting each election cycle on these hundreds or thousands of decisions and laws? I mean, that would get messy real quick, and smaller groups would lose their voice if the majority overpowered their vote. My point is that our founding fathers were brilliant. Not only were they brilliant, though, they were young. Signers of the Declaration of Independence as young as 18, that was James Monroe. Alexander Hamilton, he was 20. James Madison was 25, and Thomas Jefferson was the old one at 33. Signers of our Constitution ranged in age from 26 to 81. And now high school students all over the country are exercising their First Amendment right by starting TPUSA chapters on their campus. And this cannot be denied by school administrators because that would violate their First Amendment rights. This 238-year-old document stands the test of time, and we must ensure the values and principles we hold so dearly are preserved for generations to come. If you don't like the direction our country is going, you want to do something about it, only in America, because of our founding documents, is it possible to make a change. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stokes. Next, we have Ms. Emily Judge.
Hello, thank you for your time tonight. My name is Emily Judge. I state my address. It's 139 Hidden Pastures in Cramerton. I am here to express my appreciation for the board in taking a careful and thoughtful approach to complaints about teacher comments on social media. I think the board is wise in this regard because these are often statements of political opinions by off-duty teachers, which are clearly protected by both the First Amendment of the United States and North Carolina General Statutes 126.13, which specifically says that state institutions such as school districts cannot penalize teachers for off-duty political comments and other expressions of free speech. It's important to continue to follow these directives so this district can focus on the core work of educating kids. That's what we're here to do. Getting off track risks wasting money and time defending potential challenges, including litigation by teachers who have been wrongfully disciplined or terminated. Rather than go down that track, please continue to observe these laws. On-the-job performance is a much better indication of qualifications and character. We trust you all to objectively evaluate teachers based on the work they do in the classroom, which is very important work. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Judge. Next, we have Ms. Ann Helms.
If I have handouts for the board, who should I give it to? Good evening. I'm Ann Doss Helms. I'm a longtime resident of South Point Township and the mother of a 2007 South Point High School graduate. I'm also a retired education reporter, so I'm quite familiar with the state accountability data that we're going to hear about tonight. I suspect we'll hear about Gaston County's gains, and we should celebrate them. Thank you to everyone here who's helping our children learn. But there's some really bad news in here, too. Our students remain below state averages for reading and math proficiency. Fewer than half of our elementary and middle school students earned grade level scores. And when you look at reading and math proficiency for all the districts in the Charlotte region, Gaston County is at the bottom. For instance, reading proficiency for grades 3 through 8 was 45% in Gaston County, 52.5% statewide, and 65% in Union County, which was the best in the region. That's a 20-point gap between the worst, us, and the best. In math, that gap is more than 25 points. I've given you the handout, so I won't have to stand here and read off numbers, but here's something that stands out to me. Across the country, black students underperform white students on average, and low-income kids underperform their more affluent peers. That's true here, too. Scores are bad for black and low-income students across North Carolina, and they're a little worse here. But the white and non-disadvantaged kids, who tend to do very well in some other Charlotte area districts, also do much worse in Gaston County. For instance, when you look at math proficiency for white students in our region, well over 80% of students in Union and Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools passed the exams. Here, it was 61%. I've seen this year after year. As a reporter, I'd create charts comparing regional districts, and Gaston County would be at the bottom, and I'd wonder why no one in my county seemed to be worried. How can below average and bottom of the list be good enough for Gaston County? Do we think our kids are less capable? Do our families care less? As some of you know, during the budget time, I urged our county commissioners to pump significantly more money into our local teacher stipends in hopes that that would help us recruit and keep great educators. That didn't happen. And let's face it, there's a lot that you as a school board cannot do to address this situation. You don't have control over the amount of your budget. You can't control all the factors outside the schoolhouse that influence a child's performance. And you have to compete with private schools that can now get public voucher money without having to face any of the scrutiny that you're facing right now. But here's what you can do. You can acknowledge that we have a big challenge in front of us. And you can convene people from across our community, educators, business leaders, houses of worship, to figure out what we can do together to make sure our kids don't stay at the bottom of the barrel. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Helms. So next, we have Marlene Weinart.
Hi, Marlene Weinert from Belmont, North Carolina, 2330 Shannon Drive. I had no idea I would be coming to a school board meeting tonight. I've been to many in the past, but not here in Gaston County. I'm here tonight to defend the right of free speech, and I also had my Constitution to wave in the air, because this is the supreme law of the land. And it came to my attention just, 3 hours ago, that there is a teacher in Gaston County, and this is happening all over the country, who has been doxxed by internet trolls and is in jeopardy of losing their job right here in Gaston County. This is wrong. A teacher has the right to free speech as afforded by the U.S. Constitution, and everyone from a local school board to the Supreme Court needs to defend this Constitution with their last breath. I'm retired. I'm a retired teacher from another state. I worked with students with disabilities, and I understand that this teacher also works with students with disabilities. I'm assuming in self-contained classrooms. You'd be very hard-pressed to replace a teacher such as that. I would hope you would defend their right for free speech. There was nothing violent about the comment. It was a matter of a few words. I don't even know if you've been made aware of it, but there are trolls out there. That's what they do. They troll the internet looking to report people to school boards and their employers, so they then lose their jobs. They don't care about the children. They don't care about those students with severe disabilities who have come to rely on this teacher, I assume, for a lot of needs, including learning. I've gone way off script, but teachers in this state are not allowed to have a union. A weak union, such as I had in Florida, is sure a heck of a whole lot better than no union, which is what we have here, and why I'm not a teacher in this state. I retired. The right in their personal life to have an opinion is really important. They were not on the job. It was in the internet, and there are people that make full-time profession out of doing this, finding errant comments, reporting them, and making them lose their jobs and positions. It's going to hurt the children. Those people don't care about the children. They care about an agenda coming from one man, just like in a school. The principal sets the tone. In a country, the president sets the tone. And I really hope that you all remember the first three words of the Constitution, which is "we the people." And that's really all I have to say.
Thank you. So next we have Miss Roxanne Rankin. Ms. Rankin, in her day job as our illustrious clerk of courts, we're glad to have you here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I am not here in my capacity as
I
clerk of
understand
court.
that. Yes,
I
ma'am.
am here tonight because I'm president of the McCampbell Historical Society, and I am here tonight to invite all of you to the 75th anniversary of the celebration for the McCampbell Elementary School. In the late 1940s, I'll give you a very brief history lesson. The existing building needed to be demolished. The county was going to bus the students outside of McAdenville. Mr. W.J. Farr said, no, don't want that to happen. So he personally paid to have the building built that is still being used today, and it opened in 1950. And for many decades after that, he maintained that building until at some point the county finally took it over. In the early 1960s, when kindergarten classes were popping up all over the all over the country, Mr. Farr once again came to the county wanting McCampbell Elementary to have a kindergarten class. The county wouldn't fund it, so he went out, hired a teacher who happens to be my aunt now, and had the very first kindergarten class in North Carolina. Very, very important day that day. My aunt is still living. She's excited to be there. This is that class. We're going to recreate that picture that day during this celebration. We have contacted all the students, the ones that are still living, 4 have passed away. My aunt is coming, and what I would really love is for this board, along with the school administration, to be there that day so I can take your picture with this historic class as well. The event's from 11 to 3. I will have greeters at the door. If you come in and identify yourself as a board member or part of the administration, you'll be escorted to that room. But I encourage you, this was a big deal for Gaston County and North Carolina, the first kindergarten class in the state. And it's at McCampbell Elementary, which is the smallest school in this county. And they're still using the same building that was opened in 1950, thanks to Mr. Farr and his foresight into leading that town and the students and the people to where they are today. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Rankin. So next we have Ms. Teresa McFarland.
Good evening. Teresa McFarlane, 1139 East Franklin Boulevard, Gastonia. First of all, Dr. Hochard, I want to go on, or Superintendent Hochard, I want to go on record as saying I like you. And I say that, I don't give those compliments very, very lightly. But I'm also here because I have some concerns. I have some concerns about policy. I have some concerns about transparency. And most of all, I have concerns about bullying. In regards to transparency, I made a request. I was told that someone would get back with me. I'm still waiting on that someone. I think transparency, when it is possible, is a good thing with communicating with parents, students, and the general public. My question was not one of personnel. It was not one that was interfering in anything that would cross a line. It was a very generic question. I want to say also that I do appreciate you guys doing your due diligence with the media situation that's going on. I understand you have a hard job, and I appreciate you taking the time to do what you need to do to look into that. Now I'm going to get back to what really is my, I guess, concern, and that's bullying. We have way too much bullying going on in Gaston County schools. I sent you all an email right before this meeting of what I got today. I've received that today. I'm receiving those kind of emails on a regular basis. It's not okay. Our kids need to be safe in school. They need to be okay in school. We need to make sure that there's policies and procedures in place so that our children can be safe in school and not worry. I mean, the student I'm referring to, I asked his parents' permission to share a little bit tonight. He's in therapy because he keeps getting jumped in the bathroom. And this is at one of our high schools. Guys, y'all are in the position to do something about it, and I implore you to do it. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Farr. Next is Terry Elliott.
Good evening, Gaston County Board of Education members. This is my first time speaking in front of you in a public forum like this. I questioned myself for a couple of days as to whether or not I would attend. I am a Gaston County graduate myself, Hunter Huss High School, 1998, and I worked for Gaston County Schools from 2014 to 2018 at the school that is now in question due to employee inappropriate behavior on social media. I will not mention names. I will say that I do have a very heavy concern for how this might get handled in the end. Again, I saw 4 years in the classroom, and during that time, I also served in the United States military. So I am very familiar with what it means to stand up for free speech, the Constitution, and the American Bill of Rights. Yes, Americans are meant to be protected. Americans are supposed to have freedoms to be exercised, but those exercisings come with a responsibility. And if people are not willing to control themselves and demonstrate that to everyone else around them, then we need to question whether or not they're going to be in positions of leadership. I am raising 2 children of my own here in Gaston County. They do not attend Gaston County schools because I saw what goes on behind the doors every time those kids walk into a classroom. I did not leave Gaston County schools on bad terms. It was a matter of making the right choice for the students and where I was within my own life. Again, I mentioned I was in the military. I am now a 100% disabled veteran, according to the VA status. I had to make a choice. Was I going to stand up and continue to push through and not do my job appropriately, or was I going to leave and allow the school to find someone else who could do the job properly? Now, the comments that were made online, this particular person posted it up on Facebook, and I have heard arguments about her freedoms of speech. Had she made the comment without posting the particular school she works at within her bio, I would have said, even if she's off duty, I think you get my point.
Thank you, Ms. Elliott, and thank you for your service and sacrifice to our country.
Best and worst time of my life, sir.
Next is Miss Emily Parker.
Hey, y'all. My name is Emily Parker. I live at 2625 Birchwood Drive in Gastonia. I'm here tonight on short notice, so my comments will be brief, hence the Nirvana t-shirt, so I apologize for that. So I'm here today asking you to not feed into what has quickly become a politically motivated national campaign to have people fired from their jobs due to comments made about the murder of Charlie Kirk. There are actual websites for people to go on that activists are posting celebrating people losing their jobs. This is politically motivated. If any of you actually looked at the majority of the comments on the county school's Facebook page, you would have quickly learned that the vast majority of the comments weren't even from citizens not just of Gaston County, but not of North Carolina. Because again, it's national. It's a national campaign to ruin people's livelihoods. I don't think I have to tell any of you what kind of slippery slope you're stepping on if Ms. Ackerman is fired. And to be honest, I'm not sure why people are not saying her name today, because they posted her address all week, but that's beside the point. Many people could all of a sudden feel uncomfortable with a teacher who supports politicians with differing ideologies or a teacher from a different religion. Ms. Ackerman did not celebrate the murder of Charlie Kirk. That was not even close to her comment, but her address has been posted online. I have screenshots. Her family has been accosted, and there is an entire population, mostly outside of Gaston County, who are wanting to end her career. Are these the type of people who gets to decide what's best for children? I think not. I want everyone here to know that Holly's coworkers weren't allowed to be here today, but I can assure everyone in the room that they really wanted to be to support Holly. Please do the right thing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And that ends our public comment period for this evening. The board does appreciate comments from the public and matters concerning Gaston County Schools. Next on our agenda is the approval and correction of our minutes. The minutes are from the August 18th, 2025 regular meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Cherry, Mr. Stevens. Any discussion on those minutes? All in favor? That's unanimous. Our next agenda is our Operations Committee meeting, and Chairman Moore, that's you.
Mr. Chairman, Dr. Cherry is going to give that report.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, the Operations Committee met on Monday, September 8th, at 8:30 here in the boardroom. Committee members present were myself and Todd Kinlaw. Chairman Moore and Lee Dedman were absent and excused, and I chaired the meeting. The minutes from the August meeting were held over until October due to lack of a quorum. State budget update. Associate Superintendent Gary Hoskins reported that even though the state had passed a mini budget, a comprehensive budget has not yet been finalized. The mini budget does include step increases for our teachers, but no across-the-board salary increases. Health insurance costs continue to rise, and the retirement rate has also increased. He also discussed low wealth funding issues for Gaston County Schools. Operations update. Assistant Superintendent Bessie Harvey gave us updates on the retaining wall project at Stuart Kramer High School. Work began on September 1st with an expected completion date this February. Alternate athletic schedules are being developed to accommodate construction. Harris Communications has been selected to install the emergency responder communication coverage system in 28 schools. And contracts on the consent agenda for the emergency radio project, trash removal, and playground mulch were discussed and are up for full board approval on the consent agenda tonight. Strategic Plan. Chief of Staff Tom Nanzetti presented a draft of the Gaston County Schools Strategic Plan for 2030. This includes SMART goals in areas such as academics, financial stewardship, operations, student support, workforce development, communications, and technology. The next step is to gather input from the board, staff, students, parents, and community leaders. Legal updates. Attorney Sonia McGraw shared information on House Bill 559, which requires school boards to adopt policies limiting student wireless device use during instructional time. Further review will be conducted by the Board and Policy Committee. State data results. Associate Superintendent Tanya Kells and Chief Accountability Officer Kelly Cunningham presented the 24-25 state accountability results using the framework of clarity, context, and candor to provide an overview of performance data. This item will be further presented tonight. The next Operations Committee meeting will be held on October 6th at 8:30 here in the boardroom.
Thank you, Ms. Cherry. So our next item is our Curriculum and Instruction Committee report, and the chair of that committee is Mr. Ramsey.
Mr. Chair, I asked Ms. Smith to do the report tonight.
Thank you. Ms. Smith.
The Curriculum and Instruction Committee convened on Monday, September 8th, 2025 at 11:30 a.m. in the Central Office Boardroom. Committee members presented their committee chairman, Jeff Ramsey, Robbie Lovelace, Janice Smith, and A.M. Stevens III, who joined by phone. The committee unanimously approved the minutes from the previous meeting on August 4th. 2024-2025 state data results were presented by Associate Superintendent Tanya Kells and Chief Accountability Officer Kelly Cunningham. They provided a comprehensive overview of the North Carolina accountability model and key district performance. This item will be further presented during this meeting. The strategic plan of 2030 was introduced by Chief of Staff Tom Nanzetti, highlighting SMART goals across key areas, including academic achievement, financial stewardship, operations, student support, talent development, communications, and technology. Stakeholder feedback will be the next step in finalizing the plan. Legal updates were provided by Attorney Sonia McGraw, focusing on House Bill 959, which mandates school boards to implement policies restricting wireless communication devices being used during instructional time and set for consequences for violation. 3 other policy revisions were discussed by the committee and are on the consent agenda for approval. The approval regarding the destruction of EC student records was presented by the Executive Director for the Department of Exceptional Children. The new system is projected to save approximately $300,000 by archiving and maintaining EC student records more efficiently. This item is on the consent agenda for approval. The next Curriculum and Instruction Committee meeting is scheduled for October 6, 2025 at 11:30 a.m. in the Central Office Boardroom.
Thank you, Ms. Smith, and thank you to both committees for the work you do on behalf of our students, staff, and parents. So next on our agenda is the 2024-2025 end-of-year student performance results and information. And Ms. Kells is not going to leave me hanging this time. And her and Ms. Cunningham are going to do our presentation. Thank you.
That I asked Tyler to stand in for the classroom moment so that you wouldn't get tired of hearing my voice tonight. So we are here this evening to share with you the official data from the previous year for Gaston County Schools. As Dot named, we're going to list the data with 3 C's: clarity, where are we currently, context of the accountability model, and candor of where we're getting it right and where we have fallen short. So I'm going to turn it over to Kelly to kick us off.
All right, thank you, Tanya, and good evening to Chairman Crisp, Vice Chair Cherry, members of the board, and Superintendent Houchard. I wanted to begin by providing an overview of the North Carolina accountability model. So at the elementary and middle school level, the indicators, and when I speak of indicators, I'm talking about the data points that the state holds districts and schools accountable for. Those include end of grade test proficiency in reading grades 3 through 8, math grades 3 through 8, science grades 5 and 8, and then our end of course test proficiency for students who take Math 1 at the middle school level, as well as English learner progress and then EVOS academic growth. At the high school level, we have our indicators of end of course test proficiency, and those are from the courses English 2, NC Math 1, NC Math 3, and biology. We also have indicators for English learner progress, ACT, and work keys, and in the accountability model, those two are combined indicator. Math course rigor, cohort graduation rate, and our EVOS academic growth. So also as a reminder, the state provides results using 4 descriptors, non-proficient, level 3, level 4, and level 5. So students who are non-proficient on EOGs or EOCs are those students who demonstrate an inconsistent understanding of the standards, and we know those students will need some additional support to be successful in the next school year or grade and course. The students that score at a level 3 have achieved what we consider grade level proficiency, and those are students who demonstrate a sufficient understanding of the grade level standards, but we also know that they will need some support to continue to be successful in that next grade level and to engage with that content. And then lastly, our students who scored a level 4 and 5 are considered career and college ready. We wanted to report out our data going back to the goals that we set as an academics team last year. So we established 3 academic goals, and we're going to report out on each one of those goals. So the first goal was to increase the number of students that achieve grade level proficiency. We're going to report out, while the state reports out on GLP and CCR, we're going to focus in tonight on GLP because that aligns directly back to the goal that we had set in the district. So we wanted to start with reporting out on, again, the grade level proficiency, which is our level 3s, 4s, and 5s. Beginning with math. So last year we had established math as a focus area, so we'll start with that, but I'll continue to report out the data for science and for reading in the same format. So we'll be looking at our results from the 24-25 school year in Gaston County Schools as compared to the same results in Gaston County Schools from the 23-24 school year. So again, beginning with math. So I want to start with overall for math grades 3 through 8. We had 49.8% of our students at grade level proficiency, and that's an increase of 2.3 from the year before. Also wanted to report out what that looks like at each individual grade level, starting with grade 3. So we saw an increase of 3.1 to 57.1%. At 4th grade, an increase of 4.3 to 50.6% grade level proficient. At 5th grade, an increase of 1.8 for 49% proficient. At 6th grade, an increase of 1 for 50.6% proficient. At 7th grade, an increase of 1 for a proficiency of 46.5, and at 8th grade, an increase of 1.8, which was a proficiency of 44.9. So moving on, we'll report out and share out our Math 1 results in 2 different ways. So we have some students who take Math 1 at the 8th grade level and others who take that at the high school level. So starting with the students who did take Math 1 at the middle school level, we again this year had greater than 95% of our students scoring grade level proficiency, and that's consistent with the results that we saw in the 23-24 school year. When we look at our results for NC Math 1 at the high school level, we had 38.9% of our students proficient, and that is a decrease of 6.8 from the year before. And then NC Math 3, so that was 59.1% grade level proficiency, and that was an increase of 5.8 percentage points from the year before. So moving on, but sticking with math, wanted to just share out our results as it relates to one of the additional high school indicators, and that's math course rigor. So that is the percent of students who take and successfully pass Math 3 at the high school level. That's our 12th grade students. And so we had last year greater than 95% of our students to meet that benchmark. And again, that was consistent with the results that we had in the 23-24 school year. So I wanted to move on next and share out our data in the area of science. So at the elementary level, that is assessed in 5th grade, at middle school and 8th grade, and then high school is our biology course. So this past year, we had new state standards in all of those courses. So 5th grade science, 8th grade science, and biology. We also had new assessments aligned to those standards. So we're not able to compare this past year's results to the year before because, again, new set of standards and new assessments. In addition, I'll point out that where in reading and math, students who were non-proficient had the opportunity to take a retest at the end of the school year. That was not an opportunity in science because there was a delay in receiving the scores back. So this year, the 24-25 data will be our baseline moving forward into next year. So at the 5th grade level, we had 55.4% of our students at grade level proficiency. At the 8th grade level, we had 53% of our students proficient. And then in biology, we had 41.2% at grade level proficiency. So moving forward into reading grades 3 through 8 and English 2 at the high school level. In reading, we had 45.3% of our students grade level proficient. That is an increase of 1.8 from the year before. And then we'll break it down by grade level. So in 3rd grade, it was a decrease of 2.9 to 37% GLP, or grade level proficiency. 4th grade, an increase of 5. That's at 50.6 proficiency. 5th grade, an increase of 1.3 to 44.1% proficiency. In 6th grade, an increase of 1.8 to 44.9% proficient. In 7th grade, an increase of 1.5 to 45.8 grade level proficiency. And then lastly, in grade 8, an increase of 4.5 to 49.9% proficient. And at the high school level, and again in our English 2 course, we had 51.8% of the students proficient, and that is a decrease of 1 from the year before. So I wanted to move on and share some data as it relates to one of the additional high school indicators, and that's our ACT and work keys. While in the accountability model, those two are combined for an indicator, we wanted to share the data out separately for both the ACT assessment and the work keys assessment. So I'll start with the ACT. So again, the ACT is a curriculum and standards-based assessment. It is evaluating our 11th grade students and their readiness for college and career. It tests English, math, reading, and science. It's a multiple choice assessment. It's scored between 1 and 36, and then the state determines what that benchmark is, and students are considered proficient if they meet that specific benchmark in the accountability model. I will note that we made a change this past year at the state level, so the proficiency benchmark used to be 19 and it changed to 17 this past year. So having said that, we had 45.8% of our students to meet that state benchmark, and that is an increase of 14.9 percentage points from the year before. And then work keys. So work keys is an assessment that our CTE concentrators take at the high school level, and it's really looking at, do they have the foundational workplace skills to be successful? So it's looking at core areas of applied math, graphic literacy, and workplace documents. And so we focus in the state to see if students earn what they consider a silver certificate or not. And so we had 55.9% of our students to earn that silver level certificate in this past year. That was a decrease of 5.7 from the year before. So moving on, I'll share out the indicator of English learner progress. This is an indicator at both the elementary middle school level as well as the high school level, and really is looking at the student progress of our English learners towards reaching that English language proficiency. We had 33% of our students to make progress, and that is an increase of 6.4 from the year before. So now I wanted to move to the second goal that our academics team and the district had established last year, and that was to increase the number of schools that meet or exceed growth. So we had 51 schools that received growth data, and so we had 36 of those schools to meet or exceed growth. That's 71% of our schools. That is an increase of 16 percentage points from the year before. If we break it down and look at how many schools fell into each of those different academic growth indicators, we had 14 of our schools, or 27%, to exceed growth. We had 22 schools, or 43%, to meet, and 15 or 29% to not meet growth expectations. So I wanted to highlight the schools that exceeded growth expectations: Catawba Heights Elementary, Costner Elementary, HHB Elementary, Hawks Nest Elementary, Pinewood Elementary, Sadler Elementary, Cramerton Middle School, Greer Middle School, Stanley Middle School, York Chester Middle School, Highland School of Technology, South Point High School, Gaston Early College, and Gaston Medical College. Again, these are all of the schools that exceeded growth expectations. Also wanted to share with you the schools that met growth expectations last year. Again, this is giving indication that students in these schools are progressing similarly to peers across the state. So those schools include, at the elementary level, Belmont Central, Chapel Grove, Cherryville, Gardner Park, Kaiser, Lowell, McAdenville, New Hope, North Belmont, Rankin, Robinson, Tryon, W.A. Bess, and W.B. Beam Intermediate. Also wanted to highlight that Gaston Virtual Academy also met growth expectations. And then moving to our middle and our high schools, we additionally had some schools that met growth expectations. That includes Belmont Middle School, Bessemer City Middle School, Mount Holly Middle School, Ashbrook High School, Cherryville High School, and Stuart Cramer High School. So now kind of wanted to look at both proficiency and growth together, and that's by taking a look at our school performance grades. So the state provides grades to each of our schools, and it's based on the formula of 80% coming from proficiency, so what I shared at the beginning of the presentation, coming from students taking their EOGs and their EOCs, those are the assessments, and then 20% coming from our EVAS, or academic growth. Then we weigh 80 and 20, and then it's converted to a 100-point scale, and then each grade is on a 15-point scale. That's, again, given to us by the state. So I wanted to start by sharing out the schools. We had 63% of our schools that scored at a letter A, B, or C. That's an increase of 4 percentage points from the year before. And we had 37% of our schools scoring or achieving a letter D or F last year, both highlighted in green because we want the number of schools that are A's, B's, and C's to increase. We want the number of schools that are at a D or F to decrease. So both of those are positives in that we saw the shift from D's and F's to A's, B's, or C's. Also wanted to highlight, we had 11 schools in the district that improved their school performance grades from 23-24 to 24-25. And those schools are Belmont Central Elementary School, Chapel Grove Elementary School, Costner Elementary School, HHB Elementary School, Kaiser Elementary School, McAdenville Elementary School, W.A. Bess Elementary School, Sadler Elementary School, Greer Middle School, Southwest Middle School, and Ashbrook High School. Again, all of these schools saw an improvement in their school performance grade from 23-24 to 24-25. And I'm going to turn it back over to Tanya to share the data as it relates to our third goal.
So our third goal was focused on decreasing the number of schools that are identified as low performing by the state. Remind the group that you get identification of low performing if you achieve a D or F as your grade, or you achieve met or not met in your growth. Okay? So let's look at how our schools performed. We had 19 schools last year that were on the low performing list. This year we have 15. We actually removed 7 schools from the low performing list. 12 remained, but we added 3 to the list. would like to recognize the schools that were removed from the low-performing school designation. Chapel Grove, Costner, H.H. Beam, Kaiser, Sadler, Greer, and Ashbrook. Let's look at two things at the same time on this chart. The growth, exceeded growth across the top, and then the letter grades. So we can see in Gaston County, we had 3 A's that exceeded growth. We had 3 schools that achieved a B that exceeded growth, 4 that achieved a C that exceeded growth, and then 4 that received a D and exceeded growth. And because they exceeded growth, they are not considered a low-performing school. We can look here, the breakdown between our A, B's, and C's that met growth. But do you see here we have 4 schools that received a D letter grade. And they met growth, which means that they grew their children 1 year's worth of learning across 1 year's worth of time or teaching. But the state says that in order for us to close the gap of performance, a school that has a D must receive exceeded growth to be removed from the list. You can see here we had 4 schools that achieved a C but did not meet growth, 7 a D and did not meet, and 4 achieved a F and did not meet. So you can see in that box are schools that we have that are on the low performing list. Okay? I'm always interested in the schools that achieve A, B, or C, but do not meet growth, because we know that those are schools, if we lean in and really focus on teaching and learning, we can easily move those schools to met or exceeded in 1 year's worth of time. So let's look at our 3 goals and what the data is telling us. Kelly shared with us the first goal was to increase the number of students that achieve grade level proficiency. We were able to show gains in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade math, North Carolina Math 3. We saw gains in our grade level proficiency in 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade reading. If we look at the second goal we had, that was to increase the number of schools that meet or exceed growth. We had 71% of our schools that achieved that goal, which is an increase of 16% from the previous year and is higher than the state average, which was 70%. And then our last goal was to decrease the number of schools that are labeled as low performing by the North Carolina Accountability Model. We had 19, and we currently have 15, which is a decrease of 4. But I will tell you our ultimate goal is graduation. So let's look at our 4th and 5th grade cohort graduation data. For our 4-year cohort graduation rate, we had 88.8%, which is a gain of 2.1, which was higher than the state average. We can look at our 5-year cohort graduation rate of 87%, which was an increase of the previous year of a 1.1. So we open it up now to the board for any discussion or questions that you may have.
Any questions from the board? Dr. Shard? Mr. Stevens, you have something?
Well, the only thing, and I've already said this, but the only thing that I want to say, while we still have a lot of work to do, we are moving the trajectory forward and upward. So that is a win to me. We still have a lot to do, though. And it's been a while since we have seen this movement. So while I'm excited, I'm still excited that I know we're going to continue forward. So I appreciate everything that we've done. I look forward to see what we're going to continue to do, and I know that these numbers are even going to be better this coming year. So thank everybody because
I think all
it does
of us at
take,
Academic Services
Yes.
are super excited for the progress of our schools, but we know we have work to do.
Yes.
And we will come before you next month to present our plan to increase our performance across all of the indicators. We know in Gaston County, we need to have breakthrough data. We need to have +6, +8, +10, +12 in order to catch up with the districts around us. But I am 100% confident that we're going to be able to achieve those goals.
well, thank you for your commitment.
Mr. Stevens, do you have something? Oh, sorry. Mr. Debman?
First of all, I think you're all doing a great job. I've been visiting some schools, and I've seen some really good things happening in classrooms, and I'm excited as you are. My only question would be our work key situation. We were so high and so brought up today. I'm shocked that it went down so much. Any particular reason, or have you all looked at that?
So what we're currently doing across Academic Services is for each area that we saw a decrease, we are doing some root cause analysis with some steering committees, which are cross-representatives from the whole district, to look deeper into the data and to make a plan to respond to that
Do we have
data.
as many people still taking the work keys as we had before? I mean, that we hadn't been a decrease in the number of students taking.
I think what we need to do, just preliminary looking at it, is we've got to do a better job with counseling our students on the pathway that they want to take in CTE. And if you remember, we removed some of our CTE leaders from the high schools that closely monitored that work for us last year, and we have put those people back into the schools for this year.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Shard?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. So I just want to say thank you to Tanya Kales and the academic team. This is the first time, as you pointed out, Ms. Cherry, that we are headed in the right direction. We've taken a 4-year wrong direction turn. She has turned the ship and heading there. And I just want to thank you and your team for your dedication to high-quality teaching and learning. And I am with you 100% confident that next year we will see those +6s. So Tanya, thank you for you and that team.
I have a wonderful team that supports the work across the district, a wonderful, wonderful team.
Mr. Ramsey?
Yeah, I just want to follow up. Dot and I have been around for a while, so this is the first time we've seen the scale of each school, but also new schools. That I've noticed probably 10 different schools are on that list now. So I know we're making progress, and I think with the innovation schools and what we're doing with the teachers and the staff supporting our principals and our teachers, I think we're going to see even better numbers next year. And thank y'all for what you're doing.
Anybody else? Again, thank you, Ms. Kels. We certainly
Thank you.
appreciate all your hard work. And
Thank
we know, and you say it often, and you are gracious enough to say it is you and your team, and that's
team.
everybody in our district, so thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is our consent agenda. Do you have a motion to approve? Mr. Stevens? Ms. Smith, any discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor? That's unanimous. The consent agenda is passed. Next is our superintendent's comments. Dr. Shard.
Thank you, Chairman Chris. I have several items that I'd like to share with the board. First, there are 2 upcoming events the board is invited to attend both of them. On Monday, September 22nd at 9:30 a.m., Rankin Elementary School in Mount Holly will host a ribbon cutting ceremony for the new outdoor mural that was created by a local artist and serves as a celebration of the school and the community. This mural is similar to the one that was dedicated last year at Pinewood Elementary School, and it is beautiful. Then on Saturday, October the 11th, as was pointed out earlier, McAdenville Elementary School will hold a celebration for the school's 75th anniversary. The McAdenville Historical Society and the school's PTO are coordinating this event, which will feature tours of the school, memorabilia, fun activities, and the recreation of a picture of the first kindergarten class. And I heard her say all but 4 will attend, or at least will try to be there for the picture. So that's exciting, and the celebration begins at 11 and ends at 3 p.m. Gaston County Schools is partnering with the Rhino Run for Education fundraiser on Saturday, September 27th at Gaston College. Participants can register for the 5K run or the 2K walk, fun run, and select Gaston County Schools, and that's important, select Gaston County Schools when signing up, so a portion of the registration fees goes towards supporting our schools. We want to remind everyone that October is Countdown to College Month, when high school counselors encourage students to complete the necessary steps to get their college applications, financial aid, and other information completed. We want our high school students and their parents to know that this is the time to start thinking about college and taking the necessary steps to make sure applications and all other items are complete. Students and parents who have questions about the college process should contact their high school guidance counselors, as we know our counselors are happy to help. Looking ahead on the calendar, Thursday, October 16th is our parent-teacher conference. Students will be dismissed at lunchtime, and parent conferences will be held in the afternoon. Parents are encouraged to contact their child's school to schedule a conference. Then we want to remind everyone that Friday, October 17th is an optional teacher workday, which means no school for students. Report cards for the first 9 weeks of school will be distributed on Thursday, October 23rd. I want to take one moment to recognize that tomorrow we will have 45 of our teacher cadets attending an Aspiring Teacher Educator Symposium, which will be held at UNCC. Ms. Kales and I are going to have the privilege to go spend some time with them tomorrow afternoon. So we're proud of our 45 teacher cadets who will be attending that. And it's hard to believe that we completed our first month of school, and I would like to say how much we appreciate our students, employees, parents, and the community for working to give us a great start to the school year. Our schools are focused on high-quality teaching and learning, and everyone's working hard to make this a successful, productive year. And I am thankful for that and proud of that. So thank you. Mr. Chairman, that completes my comments.
Thank you, Dr. Huchard. And as we close tonight, we do always want to thank the public and all of our students, staff, and teachers at Gaston County Schools for their support and what we're doing. One birthday for the month, and that's Mr. Dedman, so happy belated birthday, Mr. Dedman, September 14th. Our next regular board meeting will be on October 20th, 2025. We do need a closed session, Ms. Cherry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Make a motion that we go into closed session under North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11, 3 and 6 for consultation with attorney and personnel.
Second from Mr. Stevens. Any discussion? All in favor? That's unanimous. We are in closed session. We're back in open session. Thank you for your attention tonight. It is good to come together as a community to celebrate the good things happening in our schools. Our community has high expectations of our schools, and so does this board. We want to assure our families, staff, and community that when matters come to our attention that divert our focus from teaching and learning to lesser things, we take that seriously. When personnel matters arise, the board will respond in the most appropriate manner allowed by state and federal law, such as NCGS North Carolina General Statute 115C-325.3 through .6. We will be as transparent as the law permits, and we will follow the legal requirements set forth for public school employees. Sometimes the procedures set forth in the law serve to frustrate those who would have us know more, tell more, and move more quickly. We understand that frustration, but we are committed to seeing things done in the right timing and in the right way, following the law. Our priority continues to be providing safe, welcoming, and productive learning environments for all students. We are committed to upholding the public's trust and ensuring that the focus of our schools is high-quality teaching and learning. Thank you for your continued support of this board and our schools. We are so proud of our community. Thank you. I'm making a motion to close the meeting. Mr. Ramsey, Mr. Kinlaw on the second. All in favor of closing? Good night.